Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new Minecraft PSP update video. And in this video, we will be discussing the changes made in version 0.4 pre-release 2. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So as we get started, let's go straight into the game once again, as is pretty much standard right now. And when you go into the world, you'll be noticing that there's all these different little biomes across your entire world. They're kind of spread out and they're pretty big in size. They use a specific type of terrain generation. It's basically some work with roughness and temperature maps, which means that areas which are more geographically warm or more geographically cold will tend to have biomes that are more geographically warm or cold near them. Furthermore, things that are more rougher in terrain will spawn together, whereas things that are less rough in terrain are generally more spread apart. As you'll also notice, biomes all have their own different colors, which means that the grass and foliage will all be slightly tinted differently, depending on which biome that you're in. Now currently there are many biomes that are added into the game, all 40 of them in fact, that I decided to add into the game. The colors do not represent every single biome individually, as that would take a lot of time and it would not really be that significant of a difference. Instead, things that are similar are sort of grouped together in the same sort of color ranges. Furthermore, I still have yet to add transition biomes such as rivers and things like that, and I've also not decided to make the scale of things like oceans and things like that make a very big difference in the world so far. I'm trying to keep the map more of a dry or land-based sort of ecosystem, rather than having a bunch of oceans everywhere, which I know was quite an issue at some point. And while biome rebalancing and things like that still need to be done, so far it's working out pretty well. Another thing to be noted is that there is no such thing as sort of these biome transitions between two different biomes, so it's very hard and it doesn't look quite correct. And the way in which I can correct that would be doing some biome blending, which would mean basically taking the height maps of the biomes and smoothing them out using a Gaussian blur. That would be a pretty effective solution, but it would require a lot more performance work. And seeing as the media engine is not completely up to date yet, it would not seem that we would be able to use that performance yet. So I will not be adding biome blending until the media engine. I've also pushed back the media engine to being a version 0.4 full release sort of feature, complete with all the tasks that it would need to perform. So in the next update, which is version 0.4 pre-release 3, what we'll be adding is things like structures such as trees, things like that, adding foliage, so like grass and flowers and things back into the world, adding smaller structures, things like lakes and things like that, alongside ores and other things in the ground. I also wish to add a bunch more caves and things like that into the game to make it a little bit more exciting and things like that. So I'm still working towards those features for version 0.4 pre-release 3, and I hope the official version 0.4 pre-release 3 will be released in either a week or this Friday, depending on how fast progress goes and things like that. It also depends on my own schedule and things like that as well. Furthermore, I'll be working on things like Slender and stuff like that more this week than I usually do, mainly because, for example, the map in Slender is a very big task to undertake, and I'm not a very good 3D modeler, so it's going to take a little bit more time than it normally would. So I hope you guys understand, but I will still be releasing 2 new snapshots this week, and those will be pushed to the launcher, hopefully, as well, if they are stable. The reason I didn't push the last snapshot onto it was because the snapshot was not very stable on the actual PSP, so I waited to go ahead and fix that until it actually does work on the PSP, which it does now. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a modded survival episode. With